congratulations on the victory. What did you make of the overall performance, and I guess particularly the first 30 minutes?
Overall, I'm more than happy. I was positively surprised by the physical state and the intensity. The first half hour was amazing. I felt it was extremely high tempo, high intensity, always on the front foot. The only thing that was missing in this first half hour was scoring 1 or 2, if not 3 goals. But for me, it was clear that you cannot play the whole game 90 minutes on this kind of intensity level. But still, even after that, we had control of the game. Second half, we started again well. And in the end, we deserved to win. I'm more than happy with the clean sheet. A beautiful goal with his weak right foot from Fred. As I said, for me, it was about gaining control, and we had control on most of the time of the game. Maybe the last 3-4 minutes, of course, they took all the risk that they could. We had to defend a few corner kicks and free kicks, but we did that in a very brave manner. Harry being injured, coming back again. So, yeah, as I said, it was a perfect first game for us to play.
Hi, Ralf. Congratulations. Could you just talk me through what you think Fred can bring to this team? Because when you're talking about control, then central midfield is clearly an area where you have to get control.
I mean, if you play the way that we play today, with regard to intensity, with regard to being on the front foot, playing very proactively, and having 4 offensive players ahead of Scottie and Fred, with Jadon, with Bruno, with Cristiano, and with Marcus, it's highly important that you have, again, players who are very disciplined, who are proactively aggressive against the ball. And both Scottie and Fred are almost perfect defensively on that. They do 1 or 2 or 3 mistakes, especially in the first half, the 2 square passes, one from Scott, one from Fred. I don't like those kind of balls in midfield on those positions. But overall, as I said, when the other team is in possession of the ball, both Fred and Scottie, they are almost perfect for that kind of football.
Hi, Ralf. Congratulations on your win. In the first half for this season, it was the most passes into the final third, most touches in the opponent's box for Manchester United. Were you surprised by how quickly the players were able to respond to your instructions?
Yeah, I must admit I was surprised, positively surprised, because we not only did we play Thursday, a late kickoff, we had 2 days less to recover compared to Crystal Palace. And we had not even a full training session, to be honest, yesterday, because it was 45 minutes. It was pouring. It was not only Manchester weather, it was just disgusting. It was heavily raining, windy. So it was almost impossible to train in a concentrated and focused manner. But they still did it. Those 45 minutes were important on the pitch to explain to them how we want to play, in which manner we want to play. And the rest was video footage, a lot of personal conversation with players individually in groups, explaining them how we would want to play. And as I said, I didn't expect them to play on that kind of level after such a short time.
Hi, Ralf. You said on Friday that getting results was the immediate aim. How will you celebrate the result tonight?
You mean myself? Yeah, I don't know. I've had so many interviews in the last half hour. I don't know. Maybe I have a good dinner and enjoy it with a glass of red wine. But I mean, we have training tomorrow again. I have to be at Carrington at 9 o'clock. The next game coming up on Wednesday, and the next Premier League game on Saturday at Norwich. So there is not that much time to celebrate.
Hi, Ralf. Many congrats on the win. Ralf, just you mentioned about those 4 attacking players. How difficult a selection was it for you, and how did you feel Mason Greenwood, the impact he made coming off the bench today?
I mean, for me, it seemed logical to not change too many positions or too many things after the win against Arsenal. So in the end, after everybody was fully fit, nobody injured, fully recovered, I decided to play the same starting 11. And for me, the question is, how do we get pressure on the ball? How do we get control? And then I decided to play in a 4-2-2-2 with two strikers, not Cristiano alone up front, together with Marcus, use his pace for vertical balls. And at the same time with Jadon and with Bruno on the 2-10 positions. For the rest, it was the same. And we had enough space with Jadon and Bruno on those 10 positions for our fullbacks to always play and play forward and ask for the ball on the wing. So they both played almost like wing backs, especially in the first half. Alex and hold on a second. And Diogo. So Diogo and Alex, they both did extremely well offensively. As I said, that was the reason why I decided to play in a 4-2-2-2. And every player, and I'm a big fan of that, could play on his best possible position. I mean, the most challenging, the most demanding positions in that formation are the 2-10s. But I still think, especially when Palace was in possession of the ball, Jadon and Bruno did well on that, even on those positions. For them, it was a little bit new, not that new because it's not that much of a difference if Jadon plays a little bit further outside or inside. But defensively, they both did well.
Hi, Ralf. You made similar kind of like-for-like substitutions in the second half. Is that because you were happy with the way that things were going and you expected that goal to come eventually?
I mean, yes, we wanted to win. We desperately wanted to win. And therefore, for me, it was logical to bring Mason on that position. And then Anthony, and in the end, Donny to replace Bruno. Yes, and in the end, it went well. We scored the goal and deserved to win in the end, I think.
Final question.
I mean, Mason, for example, because that was the last but one question. Mason did so well at the start of the season. I think he scored 3 or 4 goals in the first 3 games. For me, he's a very gifted homegrown player. So I would love to give him more game time in the future. But of course, he has to deserve this game time in training. And therefore, yeah, it was good to have him on the bench and be able to bring him on the pitch.
Last question for Rob Dawson.
Hi, Ralf. You said in your programme notes that you're still trying to get to know all of your players. The game against Young Boys, obviously Champions League qualification is finished. Is it possible that we could see an entirely different 11 just so you can have a look at players that perhaps you wouldn't have a chance to today?
Well, it's definitely possible that we bring some fresh players because the next game is coming up on Saturday, an away game at Norwich. So, it is possible. We will speak about that tomorrow at Carrington. The problem is that you can only play players who are on the Champions.
All staff, the red zone has now been deactivated. Thank you for your patience.
The problem is that the players have to be on the Champions League list. For example, Phil Jones, whom I would love to have given game time on Wednesday after his long-term injury. He's unfortunately not on the list. So we have to put our focus on players who will be allowed to play and are on the list. But yes, it's possible that we play. I don't know if we play with completely new 10 players because I don't know if we have enough players on the list, but it's definitely possible that we play with some new players.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay.